Went live.
Sorry?
Yeah, just went live.
Okay, cool. Switch this back to this.
I see the spinning dogs in chat and I love it.
I love that emote so much. It's so good.
So good.
I was
Okie
gonna
dokie.
make one with Oddball, but I only got halfway through it and then I got distracted by other things. One day.
One day.
Okay, 4:30. What time is it? Hey, look at us. We're like on schedule and everything. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Let me. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna do like a silent 10 count, and then I will pull you over to the live thingy. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
All right, everybody, we are back. And once again, huge RTMP delay, so I won't talk for very long. But somehow I'll fix this. I'm here with Passere and Tainted Tally for a 102 Dalmatians speed run. Take it away, please.
Awesome. Yeah, thank you.
I think you meant to say possum.
That's true. We have
Sorry.
a pause menu. I don't know how delayed this. Like I'm looking at the stream right now. It's delayed. So I don't know. Can they hear my audio? Like how does the audio work for that?
Yes, they can hear you. It's just it started picking up the audio way before we actually went live. So they're
Okay.
hearing me talk to you about how I'm going to stop talking to give it time to catch up.
All right. Awesome.
And then
Sorry. I just wanted to be
stop
clear on
talking
that.
really long enough.
Welcome everybody, I'm Passere. This is 102 Dalmatians, Puppies to the Rescue. This is going to be the all levels out of bounds category, so you will see all levels, but there's going to be some pretty big skips in some of them. And I'm here with Tainted Tally, if you want
Hello,
to say
hi.
something.
Sure. I also run this game, although I haven't run it for a while, and I also run inbounds and all puppies, so not out of bounds. So a little bit out of my left field for me, but I'm going to try and explain what's going on as best as possible.
And so, let's get going. So time won't start until I get into this first level, but I'll give a countdown. It's going to be after I skip this first cutscene. Oh, well, there you go. There's the paused menu.
I love it.
And
Yeah, time starts when we get control over our puppy, basically.
Alright, so it'll be in 3, 2, 1, now! And here we are.
Alright, so starting off, you can see that Passere is going to spend a lot of time rolling, so apologies in advance for the sound. It can be a bit grating when you're not used to hearing it all the time. But that's basically our main movement tech. The rolling is the absolute fastest way we can move, but you can't roll infinitely, so you will see that we buffer in a jump every so often at the end of each roll before we can go into the next roll. So that's going to be what you see, roll, jump, and we're already done with the first level.
There was a quick out of bounds there if you caught that.
Very quick, very, very out of bounds. But yeah, welcome to Out of Bounds as a category. We get to visit each level. We're supposed to save 6 puppies in each of the levels as well, but unfortunately in this category, it's a lot faster to not save the puppies, so we're just gonna have to go to Corella as fast as we can and hope the puppies will be okay in the process.
They'll be fine.
They'll be fine.
You don't have to save a single puppy to beat the game. Oops.
Yeah, not a single of the puppy rescues are necessary, and some of them can even be a bit tricky to avoid, so if you're unlucky, you can roll into them by accident. And if that happens, they have an unskippable cutscene for each save, so that's why all puppies is a much longer category, because you have to watch the cutscene for every single one of them. Which, spoiler alert, is not 102.
It's 96 only.
Yep. And then there's plus, you know, the 2 you play as, plus the 2 parents, so really it only adds up to like 100. We have 2 puppies missing, but I'm sure they're fine. They're probably on vacation enjoying time somewhere.
Yeah, they just didn't get captured, and they also didn't feel like rescuing anybody. They're just chilling, probably.
Exactly. It's so funny how you can just like bypass so many things when you're just going through the level and not having to worry about collecting anything.
As a kid, this would have blown my mind. Like, some of the levels you just go straight to the end and it's right there.
Yeah.
That wouldn't have even, like, crossed my mind playing this game when I was little.
So we already gone through 3 of the levels in this game, which I don't remember the exact number off the top of my head for the total, but I think it's like 16 or something, so we're already making good progress. But this is the big run killer. If you're going for like PB pace, world record pace runs, this level is gonna kill a lot of your runs. Big Ben is really tough. And the reason for that is because obviously Big Ben is a tall building. You're climbing upwards in this, so if you fall, make a mistake, you will fall. And fall quite far down, losing a lot of time. But here we go for another out of bounds trick, or trying to.
That's a tricky one.
It's a very tricky one. So in general, how the out of bounds work as well, like you can do it on both static things and also moving enemies. Obviously, it's a lot harder to do when you need to do it on moving enemies. And you might also notice that Passere just changed Puppy, because again, you have 2 puppies as your main character that always starts with, I forget his name.
Domino.
You remember? Domino, thank you. So you always start as Domino no matter what, but you can switch to Oddball at any time, really. So they basically have the same, like, there's no difference in, like, their speed or anything. But the reason we do want to switch to Oddball is that we have an unskippable cutscene coming up later in the run. And Oddball's line is shorter than Domino's. So we want to make sure you can switch pretty much wherever you want ahead of that, but we usually, most runners do it in the Big Ben when we swing over. Just need to wait for the pendulums anyway. And here we have another out of bounds. This one's really tricky because again, moving enemies are not exactly the most stable. Hey, there we go. We got it immediately though. Easy. That is a lot harder than what it looks because again, moving enemies do usually not work with you when it comes to moving you out of bounds.
I missed the helicopter clip, but I got that first try, so I can't complain.
Yeah. It's deceptively hard. It doesn't look like it, especially when Passere pulls it off first try. And there's the end of the level. You saw it. There we go. And now we're up for our first boss fight of the game. So every time you complete 4 levels, you have a little boss fight before you can continue on to the next 4 levels. We need to fight Cruella, and for some reason we always do so with fruit. So for this one, pineapple, then we jump into the bell itself, because that will apparently stun the helicopter she's in for reasons. So that's what Passere is gonna do here.
The construction of the helicopter is as bad as the construction of the toys that she made.
Exactly.
Like, all the enemies that we fight are her toys that, like, are part of her toy line. And just barking them destroys them.
Yeah, because that's the funny thing about this. Like, it's tied into the movie in a sense, because the movie had the whole, like, plot line where she, like, turned good and all that, but then the game has none of that. It has its entirely own plot line. And that is that basically she tried to make toys, her toys flopped, and she decides instead of toys that she's gonna steal all the puppies, put them in some super goop, and that's supposed to be realistic toys. I'm not entirely sure what the logic is, because once you see things covered in this super goop, it does not look very realistic, so.
Like this
video game logic.
green glop thing, like, you'll see at the end. You'll see at the end.
Yeah, it's an interesting approach. Maybe it's no wonder her toys flopped, really. Oh. And another thing that is very important for movement as well, we missed it there, but it's the slope boosts. And it's basically every time that the environment we're on goes slightly down, like has a little bit of a slope, we can roll on that in like a very specific way to get extra speed. So very important to try and get as many of those as we can. There's a few opportunities that are really big.
And one's gonna come up right now on this pyramid, but first there's gonna be a quick out of bounds to get up to the top of it.
I love this one. You just get this toaster to push you up. And there we go, easy, nice. Normally you're supposed to go into the next room over and then have to like go upstairs and then go around, go into here and then move all the way over, but so much easier to just slow boost. There we go, nice.
That one's a fun one.
Yes. So much easier to just get that little toaster bot to like push you up where you need to be. This is a great speed game. I love this game.
It's so fun.
Last item we need to recover for the museum is a donut. Very important.
Very important artifact. The whole thing here is that we're collecting artifacts that are out of place. But the last one's a donut.
Yeah, in the cafeteria too. It's not even out of place.
No,
but then it turns out that Fluffy just wanted a snack. And then he was willing to open the door for us.
We're on an adventure to save our siblings, and Fluffy won't let us continue until we bring him a snack.
Yeah. It's very Fluffy, honestly. Alright, so we have another slope boost coming in here. see if we can get it. Oh. Nice.
There we go.
That one is really tricky because, as you can see, she lost a little bit of health there too, and that was specifically because those lines or like those rails the train runs on, they're electric. And sometimes if you're really unlucky, you can get stuck in there and just take damage. That was an example of an out of bounds with a static object, a whole lot easier to do than with a moving object.
It was a trapped puppy. I apologize for not rescuing the puppy.
Yes, unfortunately there is a puppy trapped in there, but it's okay.
Oh no, we
We'll
rescued
go get
one!
Krill. Oh no! Yeah,
Not a real
there it is,
speedrun.
unskippable cutscene.
Fake speedrun.
We have now saved one puppy.
That one and the one in Barnyard are probably like the most rescued puppies.
Yeah. Yeah, sometimes it happens by accident, and you know, it's a time loss, but you save a puppy. Can you really complain? The toughest level in all of 102 Dalmatians. Like, there's so much to explore, so much to do in this, but for all levels, you kind of just roll right through. The exit is right over here, and that's it. That's the end of the level. Even without skips, this one is just so fast. It's hilarious.
That's
it. No speed tech needed, we just roll through. And now we got Lumber Mill, another out of bounds with an enemy that can be kind of tricky. Let's see if the dozer wants to cooperate.
Yeah, I was rolling late.
Damn.
We'll try it again.
We'll try it again. Yeah, again, these out of bounds are not easy. They might look it because Passere is a pro, but they're not easy. Oh.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that was so close.
It likes to look like it's gonna work and then not. Okay then.
Yep. And this level can be really annoying to do normally too, so you kind of want to skip.
Please no! Why? Okay. One of these times it'll work, I promise. Yeah, this one has a lot that you have to go through normally.
Yeah, and a lot of annoying jumps too that can be really easy to miss.
Are you kidding me? Like, it looked like it flashed for a second and then it didn't.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, there is an alternate one I can use that does a damage boost, but I also haven't practiced that one in a while, so I don't want to pull that one out right now. Oh, here we go. Okay, this is perfect.
Oh, there we go.
Okay.
Easy. First try, let's
First
go!
try! You didn't
Yeah,
see
you know,
any
you
of the other
definitely
ones.
wanna
That was the
have
first
those,
try.
Exactly, totally first try. Marathon luck and all that. But yeah, this makes it a lot easier. Otherwise, there's a lot of like platforming and climbing, and you have to like activate that like crane you see at the end there to like move obstacles to where you can like actually climb up and get to the end. So much easier to just get out of bounds and float to the exit. Done. And now we have our second boss fight. This is also where we get that unskippable cutscene, so you'll see that in just a little bit. This one can be really tricky because we need to get all these melons, watermelons specifically, onto Corolla's head. There's the unskippable cutscene. Way shorter than what you would see if we had Domino as our puppy right now.
Domino says
but
the
yeah.
exact same thing, it's just so much slower.
Yeah, he likes to blabble, I guess. But yeah, she moves faster and faster, and it gets harder and harder to actually hit her on the head with those watermelons, and sometimes you just explode if you try to go at them too fast, so that was actually a really good boss fight. And a bit of a slope boost again, that was also really good. There's a lot of little slopes you can use to really speed up the movement in this one. If any of you are Stonehenge fans, you barely see it to the left there.
100% you destroy it.
Yeah.
Just casually. Destroying national monuments.
And now we're in Barnyard, the second level of the game that actually requires you to collect stuff. You can't just go from the start to finish. You actually have tasks to do. So the story of this one is you have Priscilla the Pig at the start. We didn't really see her yet, because we also skipped through most of her cutscenes, but you'll see her a bit later on. That It's her birthday today, but unfortunately the farmer that owns this farm is quite lazy, so it's up to Priscilla on her birthday to do all the chores. So we just turned water on for her, and then we need to go and do a few other things, like we need to herd all the hens back into their coop, we need to... oh, right, the windmill as well. I almost forgot about the windmill. We need to get the windmill unstuck, and then there's some silo that we need to empty, which also has a puppy in it. I don't know how it ended up in there, but...
I feel like that's not a safe place for a puppy to be.
Yeah, especially since it's at the bottom of the silo, too.
Yeah. These puppies are invincible, though. Like, you don't take fall damage or anything.
Yeah. And also that's intentional damage because we are setting up for a death warp. We will use a little bit later on because every time you take a death in this level, it will teleport you back to Priscilla. So when we run to do these chores that are further away, it's just faster to take damage and then be teleported back instead of having to run all the way back. And these chickens can also be really tricky because if you're really unlucky, they will just get stuck on the wall and there's nothing you can do about it. Or sometimes they won't even fly towards the window if you get the angle wrong. There we go, we got it. We also got the death or the damage in there before the cutscene, where the last one gets in, so we actually skipped that cutscene entirely, as well as getting the teleport back, so that was really good.
That puppy is really easy to rescue if you're not careful.
Yeah, I do that so many times. I roll into it, it's like, oh fine, I have room, and then I don't.
Yep.
There we go. We're doing the same thing here, taking damage to set up for another death warp, and then we just clip through these hay bales. It's my favorite out of bounds trick. It's so easy to do.
You just jump at the corner and if you don't go all the way through, you actually are on top of the hay bales. So you could like wander around on top of them too.
There you go. The more you know. I didn't know that.
Oops. And there is a puppy.
Silo. Yep.
Trust me that there's a puppy over there.
And then we've emptied the silo, so now we will take more damage to get back to Priscilla super fast. So, and now we also need to be careful because that was our last life, so we can't death warp again unless we get more life. But I don't think we have any more death warps we need to do either. I usually just like to have one more just in case. So last chore that we need to do, we picked up a key, and now we're going to see a puppy operate heavy machinery. Usually when you see all levels inbounds, you'll see it for the second time, but since this is out of bounds, this will be the first time.
This is a very talented puppy.
It is a very talented puppy, yeah.
Here, I won't skip the cutscene. Let's just take a look at this cutscene. This is how puppies
I love this cutscene.
drive tractors. This is it. This is all you need. The
I also
wheel
love this
isn't
dialogue
even moving.
that's about to play. That's just such an adult joke for a kid's game, and I
know, I can't believe that they put it in there. Anyways, this is how you demolish an outhouse. The puppy's fine, don't worry about it. This is fine.
Yes. Totally intentional. And it's funny too because if you skip the cutscene, you actually don't get pushed off.
Yeah.
So it literally just does skip the entire effect of that and everything. But we're back to Priscilla. Are we giving her a present?
I don't know. Should we give her a present? It's over there.
Is it right over there? Alright, we're giving her a present. This is not something you need to do, but it's a marathon, so let's give her a birthday present. It is her birthday after all.
Present for me. You're my new best friend.
We're her new best friend, guys.
That's so sweet. Happy birthday, Priscilla.
Happy birthday, Priscilla.
And that's Barnyard.
Guys, you can give Priscilla a birthday present by donating to RIP Medical Debt with !donate.
That is a very good point. Yes, we are raising money for charity after all. And now we have the token ice level that all 90s games needs to have, just because there's no plot reason for this to exist. It's just here. And also, Passere will have muted herself for a bit, just because I'm gonna be talking over her sound cue right now. She's gonna be using a sound cue to try and get this out of bounds, so not talking in her ear when she tries to do this. But again, super tricky to do. Out of bounds are usually not that hard, but when you need to do it off a moving enemy and a moving hitbox, they are so deceptive. And as you can see, it's not easy to do. But I'm sure we'll get this first try once again, don't worry. And this does skip quite a lot as well, because otherwise, if you play this normally inbounds without using the out of bounds, you need to run through. There's a lot of... It goes in kind of like a U shape before you get back around, so it's just a lot faster. You don't have to do like a minute. Oh, there we go, we got it! Incredible. Perfect. First try, let's go!
First try.
Exactly. That was really good. It skipped a bunch. As you can see, like the U shape, it was just like right on the other side instead of having to run all the way around. And now we're at the castle.
You can actually miss it twice and still save time over doing the level normally. That's how much time it saves.
Yeah. It's
I don't know
ridiculous
if you
how
said
long
that.
it
Sorry
all
if
is. Yeah, I didn't mention specific times, so that was something you added. That's all good. I didn't actually know about this out of bounds. It's cool.
Yeah, so this one's a console exclusive one.
Ah. Oh wow, look at that.
And yeah, you can get right to the end here. If you're on PC, there's like an alternative you can do. I guess actually, so there's different versions of this game. This is the Dreamcast version. There's also a PlayStation version, and they have like a lot of tricks in common. And then there's PC, which has some ones that you can't do that work on console.
Also, this is an AI manipulation thing that we do. You notice that Passere stood still for just a few seconds there, and that is to try and get Cruella lined up exactly where we want her to be able to do damage as fast as possible. I'm not entirely sure. Did we get it?
I got half of it, but I didn't get like the full thing. So she's gonna walk a little bit and then come over instead of being right there immediately.
Yeah.
But this is still faster
close.
than random.
Yeah, for sure. And then we can just like continuously shoot here, and then she will go down, even though it looks like she should be behind cover.
Yep. Her hitbox is sticking out just a little bit too much.
Yep. So we've now defeated Cruella with, it was pineapples at first, then we had watermelons, and then we had pumpkins. So there's something, I guess she doesn't like fruit.
If you listen to the cutscene after the watermelon, she does say, "I hate melons." So, I don't know, maybe we're preying on some kind of fear that she has. Maybe.
This level is also very fascinating, because like when I did this casually, I just never even noticed that I could go into those trees.
Yeah.
So I was just running around, kind of getting lost in this like maze-like structure, but no, you can just go into the tree and it takes you right to the end if you know where to go.
You know where to go.
Otherwise, I got lost in this so much casually.
Even like when I learned 100%, I was getting so lost in this one. And like this one is hedge maze, this one's supposed to be a maze, but since it's supposed to be a maze, they give you a map. They don't give you a map of the forest. They just let you get lost.
And this is also supposedly, I guess, Cruella's backyard hedge maze? Not sure exactly why she would have a hedge maze in her backyard, but she does.
This is
it's
I guess her security system. I mean, there's these giant tumbleweeds of death.
That is true, yeah. But yeah, that means we are getting close because, again, we started in, I guess, very central London, trying to make our way out through Cruella's mansion to save our puppies. Or our puppies' friends and siblings, and I think our parents ended up getting trapped here as well.
Yeah,
like,
one of the cutscenes.
Into the story.
Yeah, one of the cutscenes you'll see them get trapped, but we skip those.
Exactly. Gotta go fast. But yeah, this is why you know it's her backyard, because she has a portrait of herself in her backyard because she's
this
vain.
Weird abstract thing.
And there we go. We're out of her backyard, and we're gonna go into her mansion. Getting very close to the end of the game already. You wouldn't believe it, we've not been here long, but it's almost done. And we're gonna do another out of bounds here. Very specific setup, getting hit at like a certain like square on the floor. Oh, there we go.
On Dreamcast, sometimes this just kills you. Because for some reason, Dreamcast doesn't have like the same iframes that the other ones do, so like if you get hit by 2 toast at once, you take 2 damage.
Yeah, it can be funky.
Yeah, alright. I'd like to not get
again,
murdered
out
by
of
the
bounds
toast.
may not look like they're hard, but they are. Which is why I run inbounds. Because I'm a wimp.
No, the inbound stuff's really cool too, like the movement and stuff is really satisfying to master. See? Okay.
There we go.
No, it killed me.
Yeah, but that's how it should look.
That's
like
how it should look.
But yeah,
that was the goal.
It took too much damage for no reason.
Let's do it again.
It's okay. It's still gonna be first try because that's how it works.
It's a marathon. It's always first try.
Exactly.
Please don't murder me. Okay, fine.
Oh,
Wow. I don't usually have this much trouble with this one. That's okay.
because
That's
this
what
one
the
is so
estimate.
short. They were like, we need to slow you down because that means more money for charity, right? If we take longer,
Yeah. Exactly.
it's all for a good cause. Oh, my dog is being noisy
Okay,
too.
that's great. This is good. This is the way that guarantees I don't get murdered by toast.
Yeah. There we go, and we're out of bounds. Now we can just do our usual process of floating right to the end of the level. And this is another one that has quite a lot of platforming too, and like specific things you need to do to be able to get through. So a lot faster, even with a few failed attempts to get this one. And of course, first try, easy.
First try.
So last platforming level of the game, because apparently after we reach her house, we're in her toy factory. I guess it's like right next door or something.
I don't think that's where you'd want to
So-
build a factory. I don't think you'd want it next to your mansion, but you know.
I would imagine it's quite loud, especially as you run through it. There's a lot of loud machinery in here. I cannot imagine this is a nice thing to live next to, but what do I know? But yeah, still a lot of platforming. This is also a place where a lot of runs come to die. Even if you made it this far, you're close to the end, your run can very easily die here. These crushers are a big reason for that, because especially some of them, like the last one, of course, because it's always the last one, has a tendency to get you stuck out of bounds, which just breaks the entire level. So that's always fun.
It's okay. We're gonna skip it. And ooh, that was a good boost. That's an unexpected.
That was a very
boost.
good boost. Yeah, those crushers are deceptive. Sometimes they give you the boost that makes you go faster, which is, you know, good. That's definitely what you want. And other times they
No! It didn't
get
work.
you out.
That's okay.
Oh.
We're gonna use this one. Remember this guy? We're gonna use him again. There we
Yeah,
go.
let's see. Hey, and he's cooperating too. Amazing.
Rolling blindly is
And
kind of
there's a-
terrifying sometimes because it feels like you're going the wrong direction, but this should be a good lineup. There we go.
Yeah, there we go. Perfect. And that's the last level. So now we only have the last boss fight left. So just a caution to tech right away. As soon as it hits 3 out of 3 on the last phase is when we're called time. I'm calling it out when we get there, but just so you know what you're looking for. First phase is that we're going to shoot all these TVs that are revolving around her. I don't know. We can do that in one shot if we're lucky. So there we go. Easy. Perfect first try. There's a very specific setup. If you follow them, these robots are RNG. So ideally you want at least 3, ideally 4 on this phase before we need to move over to the next gun. Because yes, we're not using fruit somehow in this one to defeat her.
Lasers, but you
There
can't
we go, we
shoot
got
her
the 4.
with the laser.
Perfect. Right? It's so dumb. So
It's
now
a
we only
kid's
have 2 robots. It's completely random where they pop up, and sometimes they just like patrol you, but that was actually a really good robot
Wonderful.
setup. Very specific setup on this last one. We want to hide behind the gun. Or not. Until the second ball shows up, because that's going to guarantee the third one. But because we got the cycle that we wanted, we know for sure that the third ball is going to spawn there, so that's time. And the boss fight is over, the game is over. Now you get to see what happens when something is dipped in the super goop. That she claim is gonna make super realistic toys, but I'll leave you to decide for yourself if Cruella is now a super realistic toy or not.
So yeah, in this cutscene, so that's what she was shooting at us. She was trying to like goop us, I guess, and now she's stuck in it.
Yeah.
But anyways, that's the run. If you, we'll let this cutscene play, and you'll see
Yes.
you'll see what happens. But thank you so much for having us. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget !donate to donate to this great cause. But I'm Passere. I speedrun a lot of retro things like this. You know, is an old Dreamcast game and an old PC game and an old PlayStation game. And some other things too, if you saw me yesterday doing Stray. And I stream at twitch.tv/Passere. And Tally, where can they find you?
So twitch.tv/TaintedTolly. I do retro games as well as horror games. My current main game is RE6, but I also do run this game and some others. So yeah, You should also definitely follow Passere, and if you want to pick up this game for yourself, because again, it is a really fun speedrun. Like, this is probably one of the games that I stuck with the most when I was actively running it. Go to speedrun.com, we have plenty of guides for you. Passere has made some really good video guides. We have a Discord you can join as well. Like, all of us are happy to chat and help you get started if you want to pick up this game for yourself. You
Yeah,
definitely should, it's great.
I forget. I don't know if we've seen the result of the super clip yet, but
I don't think we have. I think it's like after this when they go into the car.
all
I think
right.
it's like the very last one. There.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Super realistic toys, by the way, covered in this stuff.
Definitely would work totally fine. This is a good result. I'm intrigued by the fact
Nothing
that
to
they can still
complain
move.
about.
Wouldn't you buy
Yeah,
a toy like that?
Yeah, I think there's a reason her toy line flopped. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed.
Yes, thank you guys.
Thank you both so much. I really appreciate you doing this run. I really love 102 Dalmatians. I remember seeing Passere do it once on her channel shortly after I started following her, and I was kind of hooked because it's such an adorable run. Speaking of adorable runs, we don't have any more of those coming up. We have a little mini horror block coming up with Resident Evil HD Remaster being next with Marforia. Also, there's about a full minute of delay on our server, so we're going to sit here in silence for about 60 seconds until the stream catches up.
All right.
Yay!